Hi, Art Seekers. Today we have a super special guest, Teachr, the coolest teacher on the streets. Thank you so much for making the time.
I like that, teacher on the streets. That's definitely what I am.
You are, for sure. And not only as an artist do you see the street as your canvas, but as a teacher you see the street as your classroom. What is your overall message, or since you're a teacher, what's your thesis?
It started with kind of a protest because when my twins were born, they were right in the middle of making cuts in the education budget and taking art out of schools, and I just really don't feel like my vote does that much. In a lot of cases it doesn't, especially here in California with these propositions. I'm from Florida. So I wanted to, I'd actually wanted to do some street art before that, but I just never had anything that I didn't want to brand or anything like that, and I just didn't have anything I was willing to risk my rights for. But when this came up, my twins were born, I was like, okay, this is something I'm willing to get arrested for.
I love that the message is so personal to you, but it also really resonates with society. And I think that the best art is the work that can do both, that feels
True.
personal.
Yeah.
And I know that the image that you often use is, or you use images of your children.
Yes, that's what it started with. There's when they were as young as 4 months old, my daughter on the dollar bill that I put out, and then like 4 months later, and my son was about 8 months old, I took a profile shot of him, and that's on the coin that I put out there, is be the change and teach love. And then I also wanted to put another message, it kind of like, I always wanted to put a message of peace out as well, because education, that's always going to be a struggle. Hopefully it's not always a struggle. And that someday I won't have to protest that as much, and I know that I have a love for street art now. I want to do something else. So spreading a image of peace and a way of reaching peace and stuff like that came up, and that's where Teach Peace came from. To me, what Teach Peace means is that anytime you show someone how to deal with conflict, whether it be you're an entertainer and you're making them laugh, or you're an artist and you're showing them how to paint or draw or something like that, it's all teaching peace. So that's why it opens up the realm to basically anybody. Well, I do go political as well, just because that's one of the things that is causing the education problem, is campaign financing, big money in campaign financing. Next year with the elections and everything, it's going to be at least, Hillary Clinton has brought it up, but it just needs to be taken care of, because until that's taken care of, we're not running the country. The people aren't running the country. The money is running the country. They're controlling everything that happens. So, and I wouldn't mind so much if they would put it into education and not be so greedy and everything, but, they
never do.
They don't. And when you're taking money out of, education, and you're taking art out of schools, then you're not running things right. Just as like the process. You get the idea, oh, this is a good idea. You either make a stencil or make the poster you're going up on the billboard with. Then you find, either you've seen the billboard or you find the box. Let's say I saw the billboard, I get a stomach ache until it's done though, because I'm thinking about it and everything, okay. Finally the night of it, oh man, massive nerves, stomach ache, up until I get on the billboard. For some reason, as soon as I'm up on the billboard, then it's gone. And then I do my thing, and then I come down, and then there's the walkway. As soon as I get to a point where I know I'm safe, and there's no way I could get busted, whoosh, massive grin. And that's the euphoric stage. You take a picture first at night, but then you wait for the daytime shot. And there's a little bit of nerves because billboard company may show up and change the billboard before you get your daytime shot. So then there is that stage where you come to where you're like, and if it's a billboard that's far away, then I have to come home, get the kids up and everything, get them off to school, do whatever, run my errands, and then go get a picture. And so I'm driving there going,
Who's there?
And then when you see in the daytime, then you're just like, nice. And then you're like, okay, what's next? Then it's like, okay, you develop a hunger for that feeling.
Which work do you think is the most resonant for people?
When I'm set up in places like that, here's the funny thing. It could be almost anything, really. I mean, abstract, minimalism, probably not going to get as much appreciation, but most of the time what I was doing was a portrait of somebody that was paying me to do it, and I would just sit up here and do it. And I mean, if they're watching something happen, like
It's magical.
I'm also expanding the art appreciation market. I'm helping other artists because I was set up in a fire department in my hometown. I was there for a week. I did this big, massive painting, the aerial view of the town. Okay, and these firemen, this fireman came up to me and he goes, I never really had much appreciation for art, but after you being here and seeing you take that from a blank canvas to a finished piece, I now have more appreciation for art. So these are people that, even if they did go to a gallery and saw some dead art, not going to have that much effect on them. But because they're getting to see me produce the art and they're watching it happen, it's making more art appreciation. I know that a lot of times some of the pieces that I put up may not have reached very many people or anyone at all. But if somewhere along the line, if one of my pieces reaches the right person, the right place, the right time, then that's all that matters.